Oh, I've not been feeling too well for the last 24 hours. Aching bones, temperature, and a sniffly nose. I think it might be the flu. So I've had a bit of bone broth and plenty of water. I'm staying off the tea for a bit. Oh, it's St. David's Day in a few days, and there's an event I want to go to, so I've got to be up and ready for that, hopefully. So it's 10:30 and I'm in bed. Last night I didn't sleep very well at all. I was up several times during the night with a dry mouth. So I'm going to go to bed early, but I could do with a fan on me, I'm so hot. Anyway, let's hope tomorrow is a better day. Hello, it is March the 1st, St. David's Day. Now, according to the weather forecast, today is the first day of spring. But for me, spring starts at the spring equinox, which is round about March the 21st. And today we're having hailstorms. There is some snow on the mountain, and another hailstorm is just going down the valley. I have had the flu for the last few days, and today, about day 5, is the first time I have felt like getting out of bed and actually having something to eat. Although I seem to be living off these Lemsips. Unfortunately, I don't have any fresh ginger, or I do have lemons, but I don't have fresh ginger. That is turning up in my shopping tomorrow. So I haven't been out. That's why there hasn't been a video for the last few days. My nose is red raw. But I did manage, I've just remembered. Because even though it's been a few days, it's felt like weeks. I've just remembered, I did make what did I make? I made something in the slow cooker, which was beef chunks and whatever veg I had, and I threw it all in and put it on high for about an hour or two, then put it on to low, and then I left it there then for the rest of the day, and I had some the next day. So I've eaten, but it's no set meals, you know. So like I said, March the 1st. Where's the time going? That means, by the time you see this, I would have been in Wales for 2 months. Time has certainly gone fast. The sun's out now, blue sky. I can see blue sky through the window. If it stays dry, I might venture into the garden and just have a bit of a potter. Because I find when you have the flu, it's best to go with it for a few days. So I've had the night sweats, my sleep has been all over the place, been sleeping in the day more than during the night. And I found that if I go into a really, really hot bath and sort of sweat it out, and then in the next breath open all the windows and just get air into the lungs, that seems to shift it. But because of the cats, and they aren't used to going outside yet, I haven't done the opening of the windows bit. So what I might do is I might wrap up really warm and just go and sit in the garden for a cup of tea. I remember when I lived here 30 years ago, There's a mountain down the road called Cwmsaibrin Basin. And if I ever had a cold or a flu, as soon as I felt a bit like today that I can stand up and I can go for a stroll, there's a mountain, and it was a very steep one. And I'd climb up to the top and just spend 10 minutes just sat there and coming back down. And I would discover that my flu or my cold, whatever I had gone. It was like the magic mountain. Walk up to the top and all your ailments are blown away. Because I'm getting a bit sick and tired of lemsips. But today I actually feel like some food. So what's the time? 20 past 10. So it's very late for breakfast, but I haven't been out of bed that long. It's just very unfortunate and frustrating that I've had this week, because when I was here 30 years ago and when I was a kid, St. David's Day was something you did in school, and that was it. You never really saw it. You know, you might have seen a display in the flower shop or something like that, but it wasn't a big thing. But this time it seems to be a really big thing, and there are several events going on all up and down the valley, of afternoon teas, and go and listen to somebody playing the harp, or go and listen to some Welsh singing in the local tea rooms. So unfortunately I'm going to miss all that. One day of the year, and I can't get there. It is tempting to go, but I don't know. The nose seems to have stopped running, and now it's all on the dry side, so maybe that's a sign that it's gone. But am I going to take a chance? I do not know. Well, it's Saturday morning and I'm a bit bleary-eyed, but my food has just arrived. And seeing as you do like a food haul, I thought I would show you what I've bought as I'm packing it away. Now, I'll put the prices up on screen. I've gone back to Waitrose, and that is for a very good reason. Even though the food last time worked out to be a bit cheaper, I found, especially with the meats, that it didn't seem to be any flavour to them. I had some sausages, and even though they were very nice sausages, they were bland. There was just nothing to them. And I could add my own spices and stuff just to, you know, give it a bit of a kick. But I thought, well, I'm buying something and I want it to be nice. So, as much as it was cheap, it wasn't that cheerful. So I think there's a bit of a balance to be struck for me. Anyway, what I like to do is I like to take the mushrooms out and put them into this container. Just makes it a bit easier in the fridge. Yeah, so for me, I just find that it's all about the flavour. The thing is, I look at food as medicine. This is the stuff that we put inside ourselves. So it's got to be good. And just for me, I found that stuff that I had last time. It was okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular. So, these are my favourite. These are pork and red onion sausages. And if you buy two, you get them both for, you get the two of them then for £8. I think it's £8. And pork and apple sausages. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to reduce how much food I'm eating, is I'm going to freeze some of these and keep some out for the week ahead. I would rather make a compromise on heating the house and have good food. And I've come up with an idea. Oh, I've got some of these Actimel again. I do like them, and I am going to make my own when I can find 5 minutes to sit down. What was I going to do? Sauce. HP sauce. This has been really expensive over the last year or two. And how much did this cost me? £2.50, so that's not that bad. But in London, I have paid up to about £4.50, £5.50 just for that. So what I thought was, I might give it a go, but to try and make my own HP sauce. So I've seen a recipe, because back in the day, they didn't have, sauces and things like this. So let us have a go at trying to make our own. Now what are these? Sweet potatoes. £1.8. £1.8 for 4 sweet potatoes. Now they could be doing with being a bit bigger, but to be honest, I do fall into this trap of thinking, that's a bit small, I'll do 2. And then by the time I've got to the end of the first one, I'm full up. So I will put these into my little supermarket here. Obviously, when I start to grow my own, a lot of this I won't have to buy. Celery, because I don't really do anything with celery, but I'm going to make a soup in my slow cooker later today. It's going to be chicken soup, and the recipe is calling for a bit of celery. If you do this, I like to take them out of the packets when I put them in the fridge. I think if they're stuck in the plastic, then they can't breathe that much. Now this was one of the biggest expenses, is the cat food. And that, I think that probably came in at about £15, I think, is it? Oh no, that's gone down in price. That used to be £15. When I went to Aldi and Lidl, this was £15 a box, but in Waitrose today, anyway, it's £12.10. So that's a good size. And they love these pouches. They're absolutely addicted to these pouches, which are about £1, £1.20 each. So I've bought 3 of them. They're already on one of the packets now. And these stick things, they absolutely adore them sticks. So let me just put these at the end of the counter. They've already had their food this morning. Bay leaves. Funny how I bought bay leaves when I've just left a house in London where they had about 6 trees in the front garden and several trees in the back. And I saw somebody once, and they were walking through the park and they were doing a list and they were talking out loud and they were going, oh, I need to get that and that, bay leaves. I thought you just passed a tree. You could have quite easily gone and picked some. Right, Lemsip, my cold. It's sort of turned into a cold now. The flu element seems to have gone. I had a really good night's sleep last night. It was just unfortunate that I had to get up at an early hour for the delivery. But I've got blackcurrant now, because I've been on lemon all week, and having the same thing gets a bit samey. Right, what else do we have? The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fresh fruit. No, not the fresh fruit, the vegetables. The vegetables that I had from Asda. Hold on. See, it's still there a bit. The vegetables that I had from Asda were okay, but I noticed some of them started to wilt a lot sooner than I would think. So we can compare now. If you remember last time, Asda, organic carrots, but I've only got 3, so I'm not going to get drunk on them. £1.30. £1.30 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. £1.30 for 9 carrots, which I think is good. And they're organic carrots. Again, it's all about that. Put good stuff into your body, and then you'll have a good body, as you can see. So we'll pop our little carrots in the supermarket stall here. Look at this, it's starting to get like a farmer's market here. Somebody said in the comments the other day, you should be very proud of the fact that you can afford meat. This is the way that I'm thinking, is afford the good stuff as much as you can, but maybe compromise on some other things. So this is why there'll be extra jackets being put on over the next few weeks, because I'm going to reduce my usage of electric and gas, because I'd rather invest in stuff like this. I've got something to tell you about the gas as well. Something has happened. Right, but first of all, let's finish this. Cauliflower. How much do you think this is? Shout a bit louder, I can't hear you. Cauliflower. £1.90. So maybe the cauliflower is a tad expensive, but that's what it is. And I'd rather all get it from the one place than go, you know. I haven't gone wild on the meats, because I did realise the other day, I thought, well, I'd forgotten about going to the butcher when I did that last order. And sometimes it's just good to get out and visit these places and to have a chat. So what's that? That's £2.10. Now again, Asda, I think it was only about a £1.20. But I noticed with the Asda one, within a few days, it had gone a bit mushy. And this one does seem to keep fresh for a bit longer. But to be honest, that will be gone within a week. Parsnips. It was the parsnips from the Asda one that I noticed. Sorry about that. The card in the camera stopped. So I can't remember how far we got to. So let us start off with parsnips. So what I was saying was, the parsnips that I bought last time, I realised that within a few days the necks had started to become a bit soft. So by the time I cut the softness off, there wasn't a lot of parsnip there. So how much are these now? So parsnips. And the other thing to bear in mind is when I go to Waitrose, I try and stick as much as I can to the essential range. And I find that keeps the prices down. So these parsnips were 75p for 4. So I think that's very good value, that is. So we'll pop them in the shop there. I nearly forgot these. Eggs. I had to laugh at the comment that somebody put on the channel the other day to say that they've noticed this chicken keeps going further and further down the worktop, and within a while it'll be in the bathroom. So eggs. These are organic traditional breeds. And how much do you think they are? So these are £3.40. So I will admit £3.40 for 6 eggs is a bit expensive. But again, how much is the price of good health? Now, I'm not saying this is the way to do it, but this is the way that I'm doing it, and it makes me happy. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, isn't it? Now, I noticed last time, a lot of people were saying I was putting the new eggs on top of the old eggs. So what I'm going to do, and it helps because they're a different colour, so I'll be able to tell. But I'm going to take the 3 eggs out first, and probably have these for my breakfast this morning. And I'll put the fresh eggs on top. Somebody put a comment that they number their eggs. So so they can tell which eggs are fresh and which eggs are old. And again, I haven't got time for be doing things such as that, but if it makes you happy, that's what it's all about, isn't it? We're not on this planet for that long a time, if you know, in the grand scheme of things. So enjoy your time while you can. That's what I say. Right, milk. How much do you think for, what's this? 4 pints of whole fresh milk. Place your bets. Whole fresh milk. That is, we should have a countdown on screen. I can't find it. Maybe it's free. I doubt it though. Fresh milk, fresh milk, fresh milk. If you say it 3 times, it'll pop up a lot faster. It's one of those things where you know it's here. So I clicked this time that I didn't want substitutes. So I haven't got green beans or peas, especially peas. You know, you can't have a freezer without peas in it. So milk. Where is the milk? It's here somewhere. I can feel it in my water, but I can't see it. Maybe I need to wake up a bit more. Or maybe it was free. Milk. Do you have milk? Or do you have an almond milk? Ah, there it is. £1.55 for 4 pints, which I don't think is that bad. So we'll pop that in there. Hold on. Let me just put this behind you. The fridge is becoming a bit full already. And then, because I want to try and shift this cold, and as much as these lemon sips are good, nothing better than a home remedy. So I've bought some lemons, 4 unwaxed lemons. Hold on, I'll show you now. I can hear you. 4 unwaxed lemons. How much do you think these are? I'm taking a guess at £1. Lemons, unwaxed lemons, £1.36 for 4, and a nice size they are too. And then to go with the lemons, I've bought a bit of ginger. This was 64p. It looks like it's all broken up a bit. No, it's in 3 parts, like a good drama. Look at that. So that was, what was that to say? 64p. That will certainly shift this cold. Right, I'm going to pop that in there, and I'll deal with that in a moment. Oh, we're nearly finished. What else do I have? Bananas. I think that is what you call green bananas. 55p for them. Pop them in there. I don't like a big banana. I like something that you can, you know, comfortably put into your mouth. Apples. Now these are Pink Lady apples. Hold on, just show you the packet before I put them. So they were £2.75. Look at them, nice juicy ones. Somebody said to me the other day, because I bought some strawberries, which is what I bought again. They said, why aren't you eating in season? And they said this to me while they were stood there eating an apple. So strawberries, a big punnet I've bought because I want to go back to my healthy breakfast. I sort of missed that one with Sky yogurt and a bit of fruit. And hold on, I used to have chocolate on top, but it had to be 80% chocolate, but they didn't have any when I looked. You put only about 3 grams, just a little bit just a little bit on top. So the strawberries, how much do you think that is? I'm thinking about £4, I think. But what do you think? Because as much as we try and eat within the seasons, it is nice to cheer ourselves up when we've been ill or after these cold nights. Not long now until we get to spring. £4.50. There you go. So again, a bit more expensive, but it's out of season, so I can't complain. Then we have a swede, which is known as a rutabaga. I'm thinking, I don't know if this will be the last one of these that I'm doing, because it feels a bit samey. Because I think once you've decided on the things you want, you tend to just stick to them. And I think it'll get a bit boring after a while, so maybe I'll do them as a seasonal thing as time goes on. Right, I can't find them, so let us go with the leeks. Leeks, £1.64. Nice, juicy leeks. Again, the problem I had with the ones from Asda was, okay, there was a lot of dirt in them, and that's fine, because when you grow your own, there's a bit of dirt. But by the time I cut them up and I cleaned them, there was hardly anything there. And I thought, that is the difference. You don't mind there not being a lot of produce there if you're growing your own. That's all part of the process. But when you are buying stuff in, then you have a bit of a higher standard. Red onions. I do prefer a red onion over a white one. So 3 of them. What do you think? 80p or something like this? Red onions, £1.20 for 3. Again, I like to take them out of the packet, put them on display, because if I can see what I've got, then it's a lot easier when it comes to cooking, because I want to try and expand my cooking repertoire now that I'm starting to settle in more. Oh, we didn't do the swede, did we? Or the rutabaga, as it's called in some parts of the world. This is the problem with doing this so early in the morning. Your eyes don't focus. I was actually thinking about going to the doctor and having a diabetes test, because I usually have one every few years, and I haven't had one for a while. I remember I went for one of these checkups. You know, you go in and you just stand there and they prod and they press. And I think it was last year, I phoned them up and I said, oh, it's been about 5 years. Can I come in to have one? You know, get the blood pressure done and everything. And they said, oh, you're too young now. They've changed the entry and you've got to be 50. Which I thought was a bit of a bizarre thing. Because I said to them, well, surely you might be able to find something now that we can stop getting worse. But if we wait for a year or two, then, you know, could be a bit too late. Where is this one? What do you think? Come on, shout out. I can't see this one at all. I think they have forgotten this one. Swede. I cannot see it. So maybe this is a freebie. Do you know, I think this could be. I'm looking here with half an eye and I cannot see it at all. So yes, I think I might have got something for free today. Yeah, carrots, celery. Well, I think I've got this for free, but I would say that's about 80p. That does happen sometimes. They'll send you something and they forget to put it on the list. Yeah, I'm looking it and I cannot see it at all. Nothing on that page either, because I can hear you shouting. Right, what's going on here now? Broccoli, I bought 2 of these. Oh, why did I buy the Dutchy Organic? Like I said, I usually stay away from things like this and just keep the home brands, but maybe it wasn't available. Again, my eyes are deceiving me. Oh, those bananas were 55p. I've probably put that up on screen by now. I think it's time for a cup of tea. Ah, there it is, the Swede. I've just found the Swede at 70p. Right, Dutchy Organic Broccoli. Just say broccoli. Right, there it is, £1.50. £1.50, and I bought 2. So we'll pop them. It's amazing that all this food will only last me about a week to 10 days. But I do love my veg. And again, I've told you about this before. This is the egg whites. And I like to have these so that I don't speed through my eggs. So I'll have 2 eggs, and I'll have a bit of egg white for my scrambled egg and stuff. And that is probably about £3.90, I think. What do you think? Egg white, £3.65. There you go. Wasn't that far off the mark. In fact, I've still got one from last time that's got a few left. Good thing about these is they do last for about a month. And right, coming on to the last innings now. Mango chunks. I do love a mango smoothie. And these, I'm guessing £1, £1.20. I can't hear you. I wish they would put them in their groups. So once you've found the frozen, then it's a lot easier to find everything else. £2.50 for that. That's not that bad, is it? Now, one thing I have changed this month. In London, I used to like going in and getting a bottle of water, or as they say in London, a bottle of water, and getting a little pot of blueberries and having them fresh rather than having them frozen. So again, I thought I would treat myself. So I have bought some blueberries, 225 grams. There they are. How much do you think they are? £3.50. Which some might say is expensive, but to be honest, in London, that's cheap, that is. But I know we're not in Kansas anymore, but it doesn't seem to be any difference with the... Well, there is a difference with the cost of food in Wales. Some things are a bit cheaper, but it's that thing again of I'm seeing there's a marked difference between the quality of food. And raspberries, I thought I will give myself a bit of a treat for them. So how much do you think a punnet of raspberries is? Punnet of raspberries. There you go. If you want a closer look at them, have a bit more time to think about how much you think they are. Well, my method of recalling information very quickly doesn't seem to be working today. Maybe it's all part of being ill. They're raspberries, so why am I seeing blackberries here? Well, I don't feel I'm having a good start to the day today. £3 for them, so I will admit that for that punnet seems expensive. And then finally, the last 2 things is Sky yogurt at £2.35 each. So what I would usually do is I'll have some of this with my fruit and my oats in the morning. Oh, we got some things over here as well. The tiniest tin of sweet corn that you've ever seen in your entire life. I've bought that because I need that apparently for the chicken soup recipe that I'm going to do. So that small tin of sweet corn, I'm guessing, was about 80p. There you go. So we'll pop that in there, and we'll have that when I do the soup later. And tuna chunks in spring water, 4 of them. And how much were the tuna chunks? £5. I have seen the cost of tuna is going up, whereas the cost of HP sauce is coming down. The cost of tuna is rising. Right, I'm gonna have a cup of tea, clean up the mess that you can't see beyond the camera, which is all the plastics, and then I'll decide what I'm gonna have for my breakfast. So much food now, I can't decide what I want to eat. So one thing a lot of people have said when I've done these type of videos before is, why don't you go to Aldi or Lidl? And I've said this before, but I will say it again because there are a lot of new people in. And this is based on my experience from the London stores. So maybe the ones down here are a bit better, and I will give them a go. But in London, the store that was around the corner from my house, I used to find that whatever you bought, whether it was fruit or vegetables, if you didn't eat it within 24 hours, it had gone off. I thought, it doesn't matter how cheap something is. If it's gone off within a day of you buying it, then there's no point in it. It's a waste. Unless, I suppose, you could go every single day. If you are time rich and you can go and visit if it's on the way home from work or something, then that's fine. But for me, I had to go out of my way to go down to the store. Right, cup of tea, and what's the time? Oh, 7:45. Feels like it's time to go to bed. Do you find when you're ill, especially if you live alone, that you let the place go to rack and ruin a bit? I need to give the place a good clean, but I'm not up to it today. We'll leave that for tomorrow. Had some parcels. Now apparently these were sent a long time ago, but I've only just had them. And this is a notepad from Stephanie. And I absolutely adore this type of pad. It's got a string that goes around the outside, and then inside is something about the paper. There's a good feel to it. And I have to identify with a pad before I can take it. I've had some given to me over the years, and they just don't feel right in the hand. But this range, I've had this one now for quite a few years, so I've got several of these. But I don't need to break it into this one just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back into its bag that came with it and keep it for when I come to the end of the one that I'm using at the moment. Another thing I've had new this week, and I can't find the piece of paper that came with it. It turned up at the height of when I was being ill. And the pieces of paper that come with it that tells me who has sent it, I thought I'd put it in within the first few pages, but I can't find it. So apologies for that. If people are wondering where do I get all these from, this is from my Amazon wish list, and I'll put a link in the description below. Now this is a book about my slow cooker, but I've never seen a book that looks so ugly. That text really offends my eyes. The colours of that, I find it very difficult to read it. So I was very pleased when I did open the book and found that the text inside is of a decent colour, that I can actually read it. But look at that. Who wants to see that when you're just about to do your cooking? So I've gone through it and I've highlighted the recipes that I want to try. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to be chicken soup for the soul. So apparently it will look like that when it's finished. But as we all know, when we do it, it comes out and it doesn't look anything like the pictures. So I'm going to do this chicken soup for the soul. This does take a while though. It says 8 hours on a low heat. So I'm assuming that it's only 4 hours on a high heat. I'm still getting to know it because I've only ever used it once. Oh, it's nice to sit down and have a cup of tea. This is the thing now, with having chronic fatigue syndrome, I might feel a bit better from getting rid of the flu. But I can't throw myself back into life. I've got to ease myself into it gently, because today I could be full of beans, but then tomorrow the crash comes. And tomorrow is the day when I'm going to go and view an allotment. Now, I did say before, I'm quite happy if I don't get one this year and I take a full year off. But I did promise the lady that I would go and have a look at the site when they reopened, and their first day of opening is this Sunday. So I'll pop along and have a look. I've got a gut feeling that there's not going to be anything there. And if that is the case, then it's fine, because I've got the back garden. I've got the back garden to do, so. Got all the time in the world. And I've been thinking about the back garden. And I thought maybe get some pea sticks and put some runner beans at the back with some sweet peas and things. But it'll be the first here. I can't even bring myself to have it on the desk here. I need to put something on top of it to stop that glare. So it will be nice to be in the garden. Oh, I've just had a text. Your parcel is on the way and is expected to be with you between 11:55 and 1:55. But I can't remember ordering anything. Click here to track. Right, well, I'm not going to click because I don't know what it is. So if I'm in, I'm in. If I'm not, I'm not. But the chances are I will be. I would like to go for a walk, but like I said, take it easy now on this first day back. But it's nice to see the snow, and it's nice to see that it hasn't stayed. I remember back in the 80s when we had proper snowstorms, like 6 foot of snow would come. And I found a piece of footage on the internet of my local undertaker, Gerwyn Llywelyn. And it was about the 70s and the 80s, and he was being interviewed by ITV, which is like the Welsh national channel here in Wales. HTV, Harlech Television, as it was called in those days. And apparently, he said, the ground is so frozen, we haven't been able to bury a body for a fortnight. So they'd stockpiling the bodies and in the chapel of rest, because they couldn't get them in the ground because it was so hard. I don't think we'll see those days again. Back in the day, winter was a very hard time, and you didn't mind it because from a gardening point of view, you thought, okay, this is a bit of an inconvenience, but it's killing all the bugs and the diseases that are in the ground. So by the time we get to next spring, we're starting off with a clean slate. So it'll be interesting to see what a gardening year, even only in the back garden, is like here in Wales, and see how it's changed from the last time I gardened here, which was probably 92. Yeah, 92, 93 was probably the last time that I did a bit of gardening in Wales. What else has happened? Because I've been ill, there's not a lot that's gone on. Oh, I've changed my gas and electric provider. I am now waiting for my final bill for February. And I've already changed. By the time you watch this, I would have already changed. And I've gone to a company called Octopus. And when I was ill, an email came in. And it was one of these things, it caught me at the right moment. Because as much as we talk about these things, you go, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, do it tomorrow. And then, like the old song says, tomorrow never comes. So I was sat at my computer one morning this week, and an email came in from one of you lot. And it said, it was from, who was it from? Let's have David. It was from David, and he said, if you use this link, you will be credited with £50 when you switch to Octopus. So I thought, well, the universe is speaking to me. I'm sat at my computer. David has sent me this email. So I clicked on it. I signed up. And I think, if I'm correct, my account is £50 in credit, and David got £50 as well. So thank you very much, David, for that. And if you want to contact me, you can do it through my website, seanjamescameron.com. And if you click on the contacts button, I've now got a post office box. But I'm only going to do it for a few months and see if it's worth it, because it is quite an expensive thing to set up. But I thought, I'll try it for 3 months, and then we will make a decision about whether I'm going to keep it on in the future. So if you want to send me something, pop along to seanjamescameron.com/contact, and all the details are there. So thanks very much to David for doing that. So what they've quoted me, Octopus have quoted me that my bills are £120 a month. So I've set up a direct debit. I've had the meter taken out. So with Octopus, I'm not using the meter. So we'll see. But £120 a month is a lot better than, what were they charging me at that other company? About 200 at 80. But by that time they put all the charges on top, then I think it pushed it up to about the 300, the £400 mark. So what I'll do is, when I finally get the bill for February, I will make a video about that, and I will, because I learned a few things. I thought I was trying to be a bit clever, but it came back to bite me. So I think February's bill will be a lot more expensive than January. But the thing is, we're coming to the spring is on March the 21st. So hopefully the days of high bills are gone for a while anyway. And at least I know for next winter. Right, I'm going to finish my cup of tea now and wait for this parcel. I wonder what it could be. I don't think I was that ill that I was online clicking buttons. But anyway, let's just wait for it then.